welcome to another episode from Kinski Red's channel. Today we're going to be talking about how some foods you thought might have been unhealthy are actually healthier for you than you might have thought. But first I kind of want to start out a little informally on a bit of a weekend adventure I had. I actually went poking around in some of the trash cans that we have around the college campus, and being the book lover that I am, I actually came across an old torn up kind of tatty book that somebody had thrown away in the trash can. It was pretty neat because I went flipping through it and I couldn't understand a word of what it was saying. I later went to one of the language professors at the college campus that I'm on and asked him about it, and he said, oh, it looks like it's an interesting combination of Egyptian, Hebrew, Latin, French, and then a little smattering of German in there too. And he said there might have even been a little bit of Cantonese in there, which was interesting for me. But it was interesting to see that, and I just thought I'd share that with you. An interesting little read I found there. So moving on to today's topic, I actually wanted to talk today about why some foods you thought weren't healthy are probably healthier than you thought. First I'm going to start out, well, okay, I guess not first, but I'd like to tell you a little bit about some stuff in history. This being California, this is one of the gold rush states, and so actually, as a gold rush state, there were many different types of people that came and lived here, working on the railroads, working in the coal mines and stuff like that. And among the different groups and ethnicities of people, the different cultures, there was one particular group of people that were particularly sought after as workers, and that was the Chinese workers. Now, this was because the Chinese workers were generally healthier and showed up to work rather regularly. Now, there are a couple reasons that the Chinese were able to do this, as opposed to some of the other cultures and ethnicities that were around. Now, the Chinese people, one of the few things that they did to keep themselves, or some of the things they did to keep themselves healthy were they would take food and they would deep fry it. And that would kill all of the bacteria that might have been living in it. And then they also boiled their water and turned it into tea. And so that would also kill the bacteria that might have been living in the water. So by deep frying their food and by boiling their water, they eliminated a lot of diseases that they would have caught from food that other cultures didn't eliminate because they didn't necessarily have the tradition of doing that, boiling and deep frying and whatnot. So deep frying their food killed the bacteria, and that's something that most people today don't generally think about because our standards for cleanliness in food are actually a lot better than they were back then. We know about bacteria more, so we're more likely to wash our hands when preparing food. Boiling water, that's one of the earliest forms that we discovered to kill bacteria, was to boil the water. Also, beer was another form of killing bacteria in the water because of the alcohol content. But that's a bit of an aside. So, deep fried food, people generally say, oh, deep fried food is so bad for you, it's got fat, and it'll give you cholesterol, and it'll make you look like a pear-shaped woman and stuff like that, just terrible things like that. And when it actually comes down to it, deep fried food is actually a very clean type of food. It's a type of food that it kills all the bacteria that would normally be living in it. So deep fried food is a lot healthier for you than you might have thought before. Although it does have lots of grease in it, and I don't know, might have a higher level, it's probably not going to have a higher level of sodium, but it does have more fat in it and more grease, and I will admit that is a bit unhealthy. But if you're thinking about it, if you don't eat too much greasy or fatty food, you're not likely to put on as much greasy or fatty weight. So it's mostly just a proportion thing, making sure you eat enough of the right types of food, and then you of course eat vegetables and stuff. But also, a lot of people are always going on, oh, deep fried food is so bad for you, eat vegetation, eat the fruity stuff, eat the colourful foods and stuff like that. Well, actually, on that count, I have a very close friend of mine who's going into his early 50s who can't eat fruit and vegetables much anymore. After a certain point, they are very much not healthy for him. They're very detrimental to his health. He gets terrible hiccups and his stomach tries to kill him. This is actually something most people will be shocked and mortified that you'd come across, like, oh my goodness, fruit and vegetables not healthy for you? Well, actually, vegetables get bacteria in them, and that causes him a lot of challenges and illnesses. Or if he wasn't, let's see, I've just lost my train of thought. You'll have to bear with me a moment here. But yeah, they have a bunch of bacteria in them that like deep fried food or even just prepackaged food doesn't have. And if the fruit or vegetables sit around for a little too long, the little bit of bacteria that might not have been a problem for him before grows and develops and turned into this nasty bacteria beast that just wants to eat him from the inside out. So that's something you probably didn't know or think about when you're thinking about your healthy fruits and vegetables and how healthy your green stuff is. So fruits and vegetables, also they take away a lot of the taste if you just deep fry them or cook them in a way to get rid of all the bacteria that would be in them in the same sort of way you do to take care of meat and tidy that up. So when you fruits and vegetables, you have a higher likelihood of getting sick off of them because it's harder to clean them while still keeping the nice taste and keeping all the nutritional value in them. And deep fried foods, I mean, they lose a bit of the nutritional value in them, specifically when you use meats and breads and stuff like that. But it still retains a lot of the original nutritional value, but it also eliminates a lot of the nasty bacteria that might be growing on the fruits and vegetables. So that's a little bit of a tidbit for you. And this has been this will probably be the tail end of the episode for me. And so I'd just like to say that when people tell you foods are healthy or foods are not healthy, just take a moment to stop, think, okay, what does common sense say about this? Why is this necessarily better and why is this necessarily worse? So thank you for watching. This has been Kinsky Red with another Derp Science moment. Thank you.